I think really being in tune with who you are and what you want and living a life in alignment with that is to me the utmost priority.
Welcome to another episode of the Happy Friday Committee Mindset. Today we have a special guest, the International Muralist, Xaivier, who does a lot, who's a world traveler. She just does a lot in her community and she's an artist. And I wanted to get her perspective on the Happy Friday Committee mindset, which is being fearless, resilient, intuitive, determined, appreciative, and youthful. How are you doing today, Xavier?
I am good, Jason. Thank you so much for having me. It's a good Friday. I mean, it's a happy Friday, and so yeah, I'm good.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I just wanted to hop right into it, dealing with art and your world of art and, being a muralist. Uh, what does fearless mean to you?
Fearless. Wow. Fearless means is very important to me as a muralist because I oftentimes have to not scale a wall with, hanging from a rope, but it requires me to be very physically involved with, the canvas. So I get on lifts and I have to constantly be moving and physically carrying things. And so it involves a certain amount of risk to really put that beautiful piece of art on a wall. Uh, as a artist, though, fearless means that I just continuously am bold enough to put out my ideas and listen to what arrives or what I practice doing and put it out there anyway because it very much feels like it's personal. So fearlessness is exposing myself continuously, no matter what impact it has or doesn't have.
Wow, excellent, excellent. And what is the largest, like, I say, canvas you have painted?
Well, yeah, I'd say the largest mural I've painted spanned about 200 feet.
Oh,
Um,
wow, wow.
yeah, so it was huge. Yeah, and so luckily I did that in partnership with um a mosaic artist. So um I didn't have to do everything
Oh, wow.
by myself, and then I did it with community members. So we painted together.
Excellent, excellent. The next question is, or the next principle would be being resilient.
Mm.
Being an artist, when you're painting, you can't actually go back to the actual. If you made a mistake in that, how do you correct that in terms of your resilience? How do you correct certain art that you do?
Yes. Okay, so resilience to me and your question makes me think of a couple of things. I think that you have to have a resilient mindset of being able to start over and to figure out how to get it right. So if I make a mistake, I have spilled a can of paint over a section of a mural that is completely done, doesn't require any, edit. And so it's just learning how to breathe and knowing that it'll work out. So in that case specifically, I had to hurry up and find a bucket of water and immediately splash the paint that spilled on the mural with the tons of buckets of water because what was underneath was already dry. So I had to rinse that off really fast. So resiliency is adapting and thinking on your feet. And then the other thought that comes to mind is how much you paint in different weather conditions, and mostly it's in warm weather. So I sometimes am outside with a thick layer of uh sunscreen, and I have on a hoodie. It looks like it's cold, but it's actually that I'm just protecting myself from the sun. And so
Wow.
resiliency is literally um knowing that you want to get something accomplished and understanding what it takes to get there and doing the necessary adaptation so that you can withstand the conditions. And that's metaphorically and physically what I do with my job. So
Wow, wow. And I bet a lot of intuition goes into that as well, which is the next principle. Being intuitive, how do you follow your intuition when coming up with a piece of art?
that's a very important question. Coming up with art has been twofold. I do things intuitively based on the work that I have already created. It an idea leads me to another idea. I
Hmm.
follow my intuition and my curiosity a lot with the work that I do. So in creation, I definitely engage my intuition and I say, you know what? I think that creating affirming art with Black and brown women that say, you're powerful is something that I think would resonate with other people. And that's the work that really I'm able to sell in affirmation calendars. So following what I understand other people may be going through and may resonate with them intuitively has really served me well. And as a business owner, I think that I continuously engage my intuition in terms of where I should be, who I should reach out to, if a gig or a client is for me, if it resonates and aligns with, my goals and my values. So I think that's what I engage most. And when I initiated this career, it was based on intuition. It was based on being in tune with who I am and what I understand part of my purpose and talents are in the
Hmm.
world. So I would say it's the beginning of everything.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so the next principle, being a writer, I get writer's block. And, I have to stay determined. Like when I write a story, I have to stay determined in writing that story. Do you ever get like, I don't know what you call it, like as an artist, do you get like some type of block? And how are you determined to finish that painting that what you're doing?
I'll give you, yes, I get creative block all the time. And it's so frustrating because the creative block that I get most often is just not being able to start. And it's my mental, capacity that gets in the way. And I hear myself telling things like, you don't know how to do this, you're not skilled enough. So
Hmm.
those mental challenges or that mental conversation when it's negative, it really creates a block from just starting. And even there are times that when I do start, I'll give you one example. I was doing a mural for a local college in Rome, Georgia, and I had started so many times and I didn't know really how to approach the subject anymore and I was fed up. And so what I did, because I was determined, I called different colleagues and asked them what do they do? I called them my community. What do you
Hmm.
do when this happens to you? Because it happens to us all, creatives. And one of the things that unstuck me was my friend who is a script writer and creates movies. She said that a professor told her, don't get too caught up on don't take too much stock in the first draft.
Hmm.
That's the idea that you don't have to create these whole expectations that the first draft is the final outcome. And that freed me. I said, you know what? I'm just going to have fun and go for it. And I ended up creating a great design because of that.
Excellent, excellent. The next principle would be appreciative. Now, accomplishing what you have accomplished, stepping out, being a business owner, how do you feel appreciative now in terms of giving back and, just being thankful? How does that make you feel?
Well, I'll start by saying I think that not think, I am a very spiritual person. I believe in a creator and God. And so I understand that I am here because of God and I have a purpose and,
Mm,
I'm beautifully and wonderfully made. And so I think that is the source and the result of my appreciation. And so I think that it is a part of most of everything I do because the practice in my work is to approach communities and ensure that they're a part of beautifying their own space and a part of that process. And I think it comes from appreciating the fact that we're here and that we can motivate and facilitate great change for one another.
Excellent. Great answer. Great answer. The last principle would be
Okay.
being youthful. How do you stay youthful? What keeps you young?
Joy keeps me young. My my son keeps me young. He's turning 5, so I am constantly playing and creating things with Play-Doh and building things and dancing. And dance keeps me young. I love to dance, so that movement just keeps a lot of fun in my heart. And I don't ever call myself old. I don't ever prescribe. I say I'm getting older,
You're not supposed to.
but we need to tell everybody else that because apparently people in my age group are saying, "Oh yeah, I'm old now. We old." I'm like, speak for yourself. So um, it's just that energy, that cultivating great energy, being around a community that keeps you, holds you accountable to living life, and that's how I think I stay young.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, out of all these principles, being fearless, resilient, intuitive, determined, appreciative, and youthful, which one means the most to you and why?
I say intuitive. I think really being in tune with who you are and what you want and living a life in alignment with that is to me the utmost priority.
Mm, excellent. Excellent. Well, that wraps it up. Thank you for coming on, taking time out of your busy schedule. What countries have you painted in?
I have painted in Guadeloupe. It's the French island in the Caribbean, United States, Dominican Republic. I'm missing one. Sorry. I think it's across the pond and I can't. Oh, Senegal.
Oh, wow.
And I'm missing another one that's in the Western Hemisphere.
Okay.
But yeah, I can't think of it right at the moment. Yes. Oh,
Okay.
no, in Asia, Thailand.
Okay.
Mhm.
Excellent, excellent. And where can people find your art as far as on any websites or anything you want to give out, your brand and
Of
everything?
course. You can find my art and work at the International Muralist on Facebook and Instagram. I'm most active on Instagram. And you can find my website, theinternationalmuralist.com.
Excellent. Well, thank you for coming on.
Thank you, Jason. This is wonderful, and I love what you're doing. I love the structure, principles, everything. So thank you for having me.